Hi there, this is Ranjit, and in this video, we'll be testing the Samsung Galaxy S7 and the S7 Edge. And I have been testing these devices for almost 3 weeks now. And in fact, I have also posted other videos on the S7 Edge. And I won't go in depth regarding the physical overview and the specs. Here are some of the specs for the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge. And again, in India, we are getting the Exynos variant, not the Snapdragon variant. And the biggest difference between the S7 and the S7 Edge is in terms of the screen size. The S7 has a 5.1 inch screen, whereas the S7 Edge has a 5.5 inch screen, and obviously those Edge screen. But in terms of battery capacity, the S7 Edge has a higher capacity battery, that's a 3600 milliamp hour, whereas the regular S7 has a 3000 milliamp hour battery. So those are the major differences. And one interesting thing that I've found between the S7 and the S7 Edge is in the terms of in-hand feel. In terms of in-hand feel, strangely, the S7 Edge feels a lot better. I feel the weight balance is a lot better on the S7 Edge. Though the S7 technically is slightly lighter in compared to the S7 Edge, but it feels a little bit heavy. It feels a little bit top heavy. So in terms of in-hand feel, I feel the S7 Edge has an edge. And I would divide this review between the pros and cons. So let's talk about the things that I really like about this device. And the first thing is regarding the battery life. Again, regarding the battery difference between the S7 and the S7 Edge, I will show you the S7 Edge battery stat. But for the regular S7, the screen on time is less for about 30 to 45 minutes. So here are some screenshots with the battery life of the S7 Edge. And as you can see, the battery life is actually really good. It can easily last for a full working day. That is, let's say if you take out the phone from the charger at 7:30 in the morning, even at 11 o'clock at the night, you should have about 25% charge with regular usage. And in terms of screen on time, I would say, again, screen on time varies depending upon your usage. Again, if you're a light user, you can get about 1.5 days worth of battery life. But even for heavy users, it should last for a typical day. And for me, the screen on time was hovering between 4.5 hours to as high as 6 hours. The mean average I was getting in terms of screen on time was between 5 to 5.5 hours. So again, it is a lot better compared to the last generation S6 Edge, which frankly had a very terrible battery life in my opinion. And in fact, even if we compare it with the Samsung Galaxy Note 5, I feel the S7 Edge gets a much better battery life. So in terms of battery life, I'm really happy, and I could touch even 6 hours of screen on time. Next, if we move to the camera, I feel here Samsung has made some huge improvements, and I feel it has one of the best cameras out there as of now. It's a little bit strange that Samsung has decided to go with the 12 megapixel rear facing camera instead of the 16 that we had in the last generation, that is on the S6. But it is having a better sensor. That means it can gather in a lot more light, and also it has a f1.7 lens. That means again it can gather in a lot of light. So it really shows. And in fact, I would say in artificial lighting and in low lighting situation, the Galaxy S7 and the S7 Edge shine. And even if you take a lot of pictures indoors, like mostly you'll do, you get very good results. And again, as you can see from the sample shots, you get these beautiful bokeh effect without any issues. Again, these were shot in auto mode. So in terms of camera performance, I feel the camera is hugely improved on the S7 and the S7 Edge. Again, I would suggest you watch this video, dedicated video that I posted regarding the camera performance. It's in 4K with a lot of samples. Also in terms of video, the video performance was also good. Again, yes, it can shoot in 4K. And I feel in video, the stabilization is hugely improved. And in fact, I actually shot these two different videos. That is the Mi-Fi initial impressions video with the S7's rear facing camera. And as you can see, the video quality was very good. And even I do this weekly talks that I shot with the front facing camera of the S7 Edge. And that also you can see is really good. So in terms of camera performance, the camera performance is hugely improved. And I have to say, as of now, it's one of the best camera performance that you can get. And even if you shoot most of the pictures in auto mode, the pictures come out to be great. Now moving to the next thing is that Samsung has brought back the micro SD card. Again, the variant that is sold in India is actually a dual SIM variant, and it accepts 2 nano SIM. But the second slot is a hybrid slot. So you can put your second SIM or a micro SD card. And the micro SD card works very well, but there is one con: it does not support the Android Marshmallows adaptive storage. So it works like a normal SD card, and I'm using a 64 gigabyte SD card, and I even shot 4K videos on that, and it works perfectly. Now moving to the general performance, of this device was also very good. I did not notice any lagginess. Yes, it's running the Exynos 8890, which is an octa-core processor. That's what we are getting officially in India. But I did not notice any lagginess whatsoever while using the phone. Also in terms of RAM, and now this S7 and the S7 Edge have 4 gigabytes of RAM, and in multitasking, the performance is a lot better compared to the old generation S6. Now moving to one thing, that is the edge screen that we find on this Edge variant. You just swipe in and you get it. Again, I feel it's sort of a gimmick. If you didn't use those features in the S6 Edge, you might not use it. I just use it as an app launcher. I am actually used to an application called Glovebox, which actually provides similar functionality to any device. So if you have a regular S6, just Google about Glovebox. Even I've made videos about it. So we have similar functionality on this Edge screen, and you can have a lot more apps now on the Edge screen, and you can also have your favorite contacts. So that Edge screen functionality is there, but again, it's sort of gimmick in my opinion. Also in terms of heating, I did not notice any overheating issues with the regular usage of this phone. Yes, while you charge, it does get pretty warm, but again, that's standard with quick chargers. Again, one thing to note is that the Samsung Galaxy S7 and the S7 Edge just support Qualcomm quick charging 2, not the quick charging 3, but we do have wireless charging. I also like the fact that now the S7 and the S7 Edge is IP68 certified, so they are sort of water resistant. So if the phone accidentally falls into water, nothing will happen to the device. And again, if you don't have those silly ports on the charging port or anything like that. So though the ports are open, it is water resistant. So that's a nice thing in my opinion. Also, I did quite a bit of gaming with this device, and the gaming performance was also actually very good. Now Samsung has actually added some game tools functionality, and if you like to record your gameplay, you can do that with those tools. In fact, I have already posted a dedicated video regarding the gaming performance, so if you want more info regarding that, you can check out that video. Also in terms of cellular reception, the cellular reception was good, and I also took some calls with the speaker phone. It was fine, but in terms of the speaker loudness, I would say the speaker is not as loud as we found on the S6. Now these were some of the things that I really liked about the S7 and the S7 Edge. Now let's move to some of the things that I did not like, and I've made a lot of notes. So let's look at it. The first thing I really do not like, and this is more on the S7 Edge, is that how slippery the device is. It's like a soap bar, guys. And as you can see, I have already cracked the back glass. It fell, it just slips out of your hand, particularly in this mode. So you have to be hyper careful, and I would strongly suggest that you buy a case. For example, one of my friends also purchased the S7 Edge, but within a day it accidentally fell, and as you can see, the screen was completely shattered. So it's an extremely slippery phone, one of the most slippery phones that I have used till date. Another thing that I do not like is that now Samsung has omitted the IR blaster, which was present on the S6. Also moving to the fingerprint scanner, the fingerprint scanner is actually improved compared to the S6, I would say. But again, if we compare it with other flagships like the Nexus 6P or the iPhone 6s, I feel those fingerprint scanners are more accurate and a lot faster than the S7 and the S7 Edge fingerprint scanner. It works most of the time, I would say 85% of the time, but it's a little bit slow in my opinion. Now moving to the speaker, as I've already told you, the speaker is decent. It's not very tinny, but again, yes, it could have been louder. And again, it's a single speaker, so if you're not careful, you can completely block it out. Also moving to this always on display. Now Samsung has this feature called always on display. Again, it does not consume a lot of battery because it's a AMOLED screen that we have. But the thing is that it has very limited functionality, and the notifications, yes, it shows notifications. For example, if you get an SMS, it also shows you notification of email, but it only shows notifications if you use Samsung native apps. For example, I use Gmail, so I just don't get the notifications. So I like this functionality, but as of now it is pretty limiting and you can't customize it. Now moving to the auto brightness, this is also a little bit buggy in my opinion. The auto brightness implementation is a little bit wonky, so I don't like that. Most of the time I manually I keep on adjusting the brightness on this one. I don't know what Samsung did, because it was pretty good on the S6. Maybe they can fix it with a software update. Also, I do not like the fact that this device is a fingerprint magnet, so you constantly got to clean it. As you can see, you can easily see a lot of fingerprints on this device. And lastly, I would say both the S7 and the S7 Edge are pricey devices. Now, to give you an idea, let me actually talk about the ratings. And in terms of screen quality, I would rate it 10 on 10. It's one of the best screens that I've seen. And again, it's a Super AMOLED screen. It's really sharp. It's a Quad HD screen. And also in terms of outdoor legibility, I would say it's easily visible even in direct sunlight. Now moving to general performance, I would give it a rating of 9.5. Overall, the general performance is very good. But again, it loses a little bit of points because of the sort of sluggish fingerprint scanner, which is not like other flagships like the iPhone 6s or the Nexus 6P, which have a faster fingerprint and a more accurate fingerprint scanner. Now moving to camera performance, here again I have to give it 9.5. One of the best camera performance that I have seen with any smartphone till date. And I have to say the camera performance is very good even in low lighting. But in low lighting, the colors can be a little bit off. Hence, I subtracted that 0.5 points. But overall, I would say one of the best camera performance that I had with a smartphone till date. Now moving to the battery life, again the battery life is excellent on this device and I have to give it a rating of 9.5 out of 10. It could easily last for a full day without any issues. Now moving to the styling and the build quality, again here Samsung has done a great job. I have to say it is one of the most stylish smartphone out there. Especially the Edge variant looks really stylish due to that Edge screen. Yes, the Edge screen is sort of gimmicky, but in terms of styling and the build quality, again it is one of the best and I have to give it a rating of 10 on 10. Now moving to price to performance ratio, as it's a very expensive phone, and again you can get other phones which also have very good performance like the Nexus 6P or other devices at a much lower price point, I have to give it a rating of 8 out of 10. Now to give you my summary, I have written it down, so let me just read it. I would say this Samsung Galaxy S7 and the S7 Edge is one of the best Android smartphones out there with amazing camera performance and very good battery life. But be ready to pay a high premium price for the same. But these are some of the things that I dislike the most about this device. It is one of the most slippery smartphone and it's like a soap bar. Also, I do not like the fingerprint scanner performance. It's not among the best. So I hope you found this video review helpful. As I've already mentioned, I have also posted other videos on the S7 and the S7 Edge covering its various other aspects like its camera performance. Also, I will suggest you that watch the FAQ video where I answer some of the common questions that you guys posted. So again, make sure you check those videos also. Again, thanks for watching this video. This is Ranjit and I hope to see you in my next video.